Welcome to webinar number 2 for Visera Link. This one is going to focus on the settings. Now, this one's very, very important because I'm going to teach you how to set up your default scan preferences. So that way, when you want to scan somebody, your default selections will be there as an option. I'm also going to show you how to create your own custom service groups and product groups. Now, this is very important, especially on the services side. So that way, only services that you offer or maybe things that they can do from home will be recommended on your reports, and you won't have a service come up that maybe you don't even know what it is. And I'm also going to go over a few other settings. So let's get right into it. And as always, I start the webinars with this very important message. Visera Link does not identify, diagnose, or treat any disease or medical condition. In this webinar, we're going to talk about products, how to create product groups, services, how to create service groups, remote sign-up link, referral ID, languages, default scan preferences, and report summary controls. So to get to the settings, when you're on the Visera home screen, you're going to notice that there's a menu bar on the bottom. So I zoomed in right here. We're going to touch the one that says More. When you touch the one that says More, it's going to take you here. And this is where we're going to focus. Okay, here we go. We're going to start with products. We're going to start at the top and work our way down. So products, I'll touch it, and it's going to bring this up. Now, in these webinars, I'm using the neutral universal product option. This is the one that recommends general products without mentioning any specific brands. So in your case, let me clarify. If you selected your specific preferred brand of essential oils or supplements, you will see your products right here. All right, so just to make sure we're clear, this is just the neutral list. So after you select products, you're going to see that there's 3 buttons up on the top. One of them says All, the other says Categories, the other says Groups. So the All button, which is the one that's currently selected, basically shows you the list of every single product that's loaded. Now, again, if you selected your specific brand of products, you will see a list of your specific brand of products right here, in case you ever want to see, oh, I wonder if this product is loaded into the app or not. This is how you can check. As you can see, it's in alphabetical order. There's a search field up on the top, so you can find one faster. And one thing you're going to notice is if you touch any of them, it will actually take you to a place with a description. So if there's ever a product that you're like, well, I don't remember this one that much, I want to refresh my memory, just touch the product and it'll take you to a description and related body systems. And let me make the clarification once again. If you are using a specific product company, the description you see right here is the official product description from your company. So it's going to look different depending on which company you're using as far as any possible categories or information that you find here. And to go back, whenever you're in the app navigation-wise, you're going to see that up on the top left, there's a white arrow. So if I touch it, it'll take me back. Okay, the next button over is categories. The categories button has to do with any specific categories that your product company has created. So categories are basically things like dividing the products into essential oils, minerals, vitamins, or any other categories that your specific product company offers. Okay, and the next button is groups. This is where you can actually create your own product groups. For example, maybe you want to create a group that will scan only products you have in your inventory or products that you have in stock. Or maybe you live in a country where we don't have your product region set up just yet. So you can go in and create a product group where only products that are in your country will be scanned. So those are a few different scenarios of when you would create a product group. And you can create as many as you want. As you can see right there, it says that there's nothing here yet because I haven't created any. To create a new product group, you're going to see the button down on the bottom that says Add New. So I'll touch it. And the first thing I want to do is I want to name my group. So that way when I'm going to run a scan and I see a drop-down menu that asks me to select a product group if I've created any, I'll remember which group it is. So if I want to call it inventory, so it's only products that I have in stock, I can do that. Or again, if I'm creating a group, so only products that are in my country will be scanned, I can call the group by my country name. But anyway, all you do to add products to a group is you just go through and select the ones you want to add. Literally that simple. I'm just selecting a bunch of random ones, but obviously in your case, if you create a product group, you want to be paying attention and selecting only the ones you want in that specific group. Anyway, as soon as you're done, up on the top right, you see that button that says save. I'll touch it. And there you go. You've successfully added a product group. And there it is. As you know, I called my group inventory, and you see that there's a red garbage can button. If I want to delete the group completely, there's also a little button with a pencil that I can touch. And that's in case I want to edit, in case there's a product that I want to add to that group or remove. So to edit, you just touch the edit button and it just takes you back. Do whatever you need to do, remove or add, and then hit save again. And that's it. So that's how easy it is to create a product group. You can create as many as you want. Let's go ahead and touch the back button up on the top left, that little arrow pointing to the left, and that was the products button. Next up is services. Now, the services button, it's going to show you all of the different services that are included in the app by default. So there's a report called services that will recommend some of these services that will support any out of range biomarkers. Now, here's the thing. I strongly recommend that you create a services group. And the whole point of that is so only services that you offer or services that you're familiar with will be recommended on the report. And you're not going to have something come up under services that you're like, well, I don't even know what that is. Before I show you how to create your custom services group, you need to do this first. I recommend having something to write with, whether it's a note on your computer or a piece of paper, and just start at the top and just work your way down and write down the ones you want to add to the group. So that way you have your list and you'll be able to add your group quickly. You're also going to find that there are some services that they can do from home. For example, there's one right here, breathing exercises. So if you touch any of these services, it'll give you a general basic definition of that specific service. If you touch learn more, it's going to give you even more information. So when you look at services, if you don't offer any additional services and you don't know someone who does, you can still look through this and add services that they can do from home. So that's why I'm saying that before you create your custom services groups, look at this list first and write down the ones you want to add to your group. All right, so now it's time to create our own custom services group. So all you do is you touch the groups button up on the top. And as you can see, we don't have any service groups created yet. So I'm going to touch the add group button on the bottom, and that's going to show me the list of services. The difference here, though, is I can only check and uncheck. That's why I said before you even come to this step, look at the list of services so that way you can touch them and read what it is and decide if you want to add it once you get to this step. So once you get to this step, you can just call your group My Services, for example, and then select whatever it is that you want to include. There you go. So I just added a bunch of random ones for this demonstration. I'll touch the save button, which is up on the top right. And there you go. That's how easy it is. And just like the products, you can create as many of these custom service groups as you want. There could be different reasons why, but I recommend you create at least one where only services that you specifically added to your group will be scanned. So that way you don't have any services come up on reports where you're like, I don't even know what that is. And just like the products group, you have the red button to delete it. And you also have the little edit button, which is the one with the pencil to edit and then save. If you don't want to make changes, just touch the X and that'll get the job done. So that was the services button. Let's move on to the next row, which is my settings. When you touch my settings, up on the top, it says to view your plan details or edit your profile, log into Visera portal. So you basically go to Visera.com and you'll be able to log in right there. Next up is the remote sign up link. It says copy and send a remote sign up link so that new clients can sign up and run a scan. We're going to go over the remote sign up link in detail in the webinar that goes over how to run a scan. In that video, we'll go over how to run a local scan, how to run a remote scan, and how to use your remote sign up link. So let me just give you a quick explanation of what this is. So a local scan is when you scan somebody with your phone. You create their profile in your app, you hand your phone over to them, and they run the scan with their phone. A remote scan is where you create the profile for your client in your app, in your phone, but then you send a scan to them, and they run the scan using their own phone. The remote sign-up link, what that one is for people that have never been scanned before. So remember, this only works with people that have never been scanned before. So instead of you creating their profile and then sending them a scan, all you do is send them your remote sign-up link. They'll click on it and it'll take them to a place where they create their own profile, and then it'll let them run the scan. So you don't have to create the profile. You don't have to send the scan. All you do is send them your remote sign-up link. They click on it, create their profile, and run the scan. So when you touch the button that says remote sign-up link with the little copy button on the left, it'll say copy to clipboard. So then you could go to a text message or an email and just touch in the blank space where you type a message, and you should see a little menu where you can select paste, and it'll paste your remote sign-up link. So some people use this to just text it to people they're scanning for the first time. Other people, what they do is they will have a QR code assigned to their remote sign-up link. So what these people are doing is, instead of sharing the actual remote sign-up link, they're sharing the QR code. Some people sometimes take the remote sign-up link and put it through one of those websites that shortens the link up a little bit, and that's what they share. So you can do whatever you want with it, but this is how you access the link itself. Some people use it, some people don't. They prefer to create the profiles and send the scans. But remember, this is only for people that have never been scanned before. And remember, once again, that the video that goes over how to run a scan will go over this in a lot more detail. Next up is the referral ID. So right here, you're going to see your referral ID. The referral program, the way it works is if you refer someone and they sign up for a link, you get a $25 subscription credit. It's one single credit. So that means that your next billing cycle will have a $25 discount on it because of this referral. And then the billing cycle after that, it'll be the regular price again. And you can refer as many people as you want. So if you refer 2 people in 1 month, you get 2 of these $25 subscription credits, which totals 50, which means the following month, if you're set up on the monthly option, you don't pay a monthly fee because this will take care of it. Well, anyway, here's the important part. If you're referring somebody, make sure that they have your referral ID before they order, because when they go on the website to order, that's one of the very first things it's going to ask, to enter the referral ID if someone referred them. If nobody referred them, they can leave it blank and that's fine. So it's not mandatory, but if you're referring somebody, make sure you give them your code. Next up is language. So when you look at language, here's the different languages that you can use the app in. All you do is touch the button on the bottom. In this case, it says settings, and that'll take me to a place where I can switch the language inside of the app. So if you signed up for Link and you prefer to use it in English, that's great. But maybe you have somebody in a different country where they speak good enough English where you guys can have a conversation, but they prefer to use the app in their native tongue. And it could be any of these on the list. So on their end, they can go in here and switch the app to their preferred language and see it that way. And on your end, you'll still see it in English. Okay, now we're at the default scan preferences. So this is where you can actually go in and set up your specific preferences. So that way they will be there and you don't have to manually select everything on the drop downs every single time you want to scan somebody. So let's see what they're all about. So first, product region. So I'm using the neutral one, the neutral product company, as you know, so it only has US. But for you, depending on your product company, you might see a few other options. Now, if you live in a country where your country's not listed under product region, that's when you create the custom product group that I showed you earlier, and you add only products that are available in your country. And here's the thing. If you are doing that, what you will do under product region is you'll select United States. Under product categories, so this is where you can select specifics that you want. Now, if you want every single category to be included in your default scan preferences, you can either just leave them all blank the way they are right now, or you can select all three of them. It accomplishes the same thing. Now, the next one is product groups. This one is going to show up if you created a product group. If you touch it, there's inventory. Remember, that's the one we created earlier. So then that's where I would select it. Now, that's where you need to make a decision, because maybe sometimes you want to scan every single product. Other times maybe you want to scan only what's in your inventory. So just ask yourself which one of those two is going to be the most frequent option, and make that one part of your default scan preferences. So if that would be inventory, select inventory. But if you want your default scans to just scan everything, then just don't select your product group and leave it blank. It's up to you. Now, service groups. There's the one that I created earlier for my services. This one, I say create a services group and select it. Make that part of your default scan preferences no matter what. Obviously, you can do whatever you want, but I tell you that I recommend that you create a custom services group and make that part of your custom preferences, again, so that way you don't have services come up that you don't even know what they are, but only stuff that you're familiar with will be recommended. Now, going back to the example with the product regions, if you live in a country that's not listed under product region, you want to select United States, but then under product groups, select the group you created with your country name, where you added only groups that are available in your country. So obviously I didn't create one with a country name, but let's pretend instead of inventory, that's a country name. Then in this scenario, product region USA, product group will be the one I created for my country. So that's how you handle that. So that's the default scan preferences. And there's one more option down on the bottom. Do you see where it says show all scan results? And it has that little toggle button. Currently it's selected, meaning it's going to show everything. Specifically, this is talking about the report summary. That's the one that shows heart rate variability, breathing, skin age, and mental stress index. If you touch the toggle button where it says show all scan results, it's going to give you an option to deselect some of these. So, for example, if you don't want your reports whenever you scan people, if you don't want it to show skin age, you can deselect it by touching the toggle button. This is in case you don't want one of these measurements to be displayed on your scan reports. I leave them all on, but if you, for whatever reason, there's one of these that you don't want to display, this is where you do it. Well, anyway, once you do your default scan preferences, touch the button that says Save Changes, and there you go. That's it. And then down on the bottom, it has the disclaimer. Visera provides general wellness information and is not intended to be used in the diagnosis, cure, treatment, mitigation, or prevention of any disease or medical condition. Visera users should seek the advice of a licensed healthcare professional in addition to using this app. And this goes along with what we talked about in the first webinar, that this is not looking for what's wrong. This is not looking for a disease or anything like that. This has to do with our everyday wellness journey, which is very important. And that's what this app is all about. Let's go ahead and touch the little button up on the top left with the arrow and go back. So that was the My Settings button. Now we're going to go into the Report Settings button. This one allows you to add your social media links. This is all optional, by the way. It says, enter the social media links you would like to have appear on the reports that your clients receive. Again, this is optional. If you want to share any of them, this is where you do it. And if you have any problems with any of this, contact tech support. They can help you. At the end of the webinar, I'll show you their contact information. Affiliate store. It says enter your affiliate store link. This is basically your website. So if you have a website where you want people to go to order products or whatever it may be, that's your website. Then on the bottom under other, it has toggle buttons. It says show my email address on reports. And where that little black bar is blocking, you'll actually be able to see your email address. So you'll know which email address will be displayed. If you do want it to display, just toggle it on. If you don't want it to display, off. Show phone number on reports. Again, that's up to you. Show my referral ID on reports. Again, that's up to you. See, this is why I'm saying go into the settings and make sure that this looks the way you want it to look. So if you want it displayed, leave it on. If you don't want it to display, turn it off. Add any links you want. And then at the very bottom, save changes. Next up is support. When you touch that button, it's going to take you to our website where it basically gives you information such as training videos, how it works, that type of thing. But at the end of this webinar, I'm going to show you the contact information for tech support, also for billing and training questions, and then guide on the bottom right. That button just basically, that's the tutorial that you probably saw when you first signed up and downloaded the app. And it just basically walks you through the app as far as how to navigate and that type of thing. So if you're like, okay, I don't want to see this again because you saw it the first time, then you can just touch skip on the bottom and that's it. And then as you can see down on the bottom, there's the log out button and that's it as far as the settings go. Now up on the top, you're going to see those buttons. See where it says more in that blue header? The one on the left with that circle, that's where you can actually access your own profile, but we'll go into that in a different webinar when we go into profiles and all of that fun stuff. On the right side, you're going to see two buttons. One of them is the three dots. I'll touch it now. And that's where you can choose an avatar image, a background image as well. And you can add your logo. And then right next to it, you will see a bell, and that's the notification bell. So for example, if you send a scan to somebody and they complete the scan, you'll get a notification telling you, hey, John Doe completed the scan. And here's the contact information as promised. So existing Visera customers, if you need help with billing, tech support, or general support, that's the phone number and that's the email address. Make sure you reach out if you come across any issues. Or if you have questions that have to do with sales, signing up, referring somebody, or you already have Link and you have training questions, feel free to contact us. There's the phone number and there's the email address. And here's where you can find us on social media. There's the different handles. Make sure you like us and follow us and subscribe so that way you can keep tabs on the newest things. So thanks for watching. Make sure you watch the next webinar because it will cover something new that we have not covered yet.